I would like to tell you that I responded with snark, that I clapped back for all the generations. I would like to tell you that I said something so profound and so wise and so deep that all the black women that have ever lived stood up, the ancestors and those to come, and clapped. I would like to tell y'all that, but I didn't. I was so shocked and so embarrassed and so appalled that all I said in that moment was, I will look into what I did wrong. Why do I tell you this story? Is it one of my bright and shining moments? I mean, not to brag, but I definitely have shinier moments than that. This was not my call to fame. Is it because karma came back and got that professor and now she's lost her license somewhere and I have mine? No. She's still out there practicing. She has a firm and she's fine. I tell you that. And I'd be lying if I say I didn't pray for that for a minute. But I got better, y'all. I got better. I wish her no evil. But I tell you that because of what it forced me to do afterwards. Because in that moment when she was talking to me, y'all, I was tired. And I don't mean the kind of tired where you just need a nap or maybe a vacation or maybe not look at the books. I mean, I was tired in my soul. I was tired in my being. I was tired in a way, accelerated degree. I took law school in 2 years instead of 3. 0 stars, do not recommend, don't do that. I was tired. I was a mother trying to keep her family together, trying to keep her husband, because I came into law school with a husband, and by Jove, I was leaving law school with a husband. So I was doing all of that, and I was working full time. 0 stars, do not recommend. But I was tired, and I wanted to give up. And I left the school that day with every intention of never going back. So I wish I could tell you, I really want to tell you the happy-go-lucky stories, but I want to tell you now what I wish somebody had said to me in that moment. When I got in my car and said a bunch of words that I really should have repented for in the moment, and I was ready to go, because this was not the first or the second or the third time that my intellect had been questioned, that folk had talked to me crazy out of the side of their neck, like I wasn't a whole grown woman when I got there. And I felt disrespected and misunderstood and undervalued. But that night, I wrote my Constitution. I wrote the document that I still have on my wall to this day. I wrote my preamble, which explained why I was a law student and what kind of lawyer I was going to be. I wrote the articles of my configuration. I wrote who had the power to ratify and who did not. I explained what the purpose of Attorney Me was going to be. And at the end of my constitutional convention, I was set and I was clear. And the next day when I went back, anyone whose words did not align with that document was dismissed because their argument was now constitutionally insufficient. They did not have standing. My mind was already made up, and the divine had already endowed me with favor, so their doubt was now moot. If they posed a hypothetical in which I was not an attorney, they brought before me questions that as a body I would no longer entertain. So tonight, may I submit to you, my brilliant barons of legal brilliance, you purveyors of legal potency, there may be a day, there will be a day, when you undertake this journey that your constitution will be tested. Your will is going to be tested. The veracity of your intellectual integrity is going to be questioned. There might even be a day when you work ever so hard that your eyes cross, And you ascribe to the ideals and the tenets that if you work very hard and you do what you're supposed to do, that you are a part of an esteemed meritocracy. And your work, along with some strategic networking, will get you to where you need to be. And then you look around and you realize the job or the promotion or the appointment or even the highest job in the land will go to someone who didn't acquire it by merit or even by mercy. And on that day, you're going to need your Constitution. I am telling you because if you're this determined, you're going to get there. You're going to get there, and it will not be easy, and you will be questioned, but you will succeed because you will not rely on what you see. You would rely on what you wrote. You would rely on the tenets of your Constitution. You will need to be clear on where you stand, who must be endured, and whose exclusion is necessary, who must be saved, and who has to be sacrificed for the cause. So tonight, as you commit to this journey, as you pursue and you persist in this field of power, remember, keep your Constitution close. Amend it only when necessary. Commit to its letter and to its spirit. And in the words of James Baldwin, it took many years of vomiting up all the filth I had been taught about myself and half believed before I was able to walk on the earth as though I had a right to be there. Write your Constitution, my fellow future counselor, with the absolute assurance that you have every single right and the responsibility to be here. See you on the other side of the bar.
Amazing. Yes, P. Maxine Woods-McMillan, Esquire. Well done. So who's writing their Constitution tonight?